Season 4 of Stranger Things has been explosive and full of shocking revelations. However, there are still a few questions that haven't been answered. Watch this video to find out if 11 can truly defeat the evil Vecna. Discover why Dr. Brenner might hold the key to the connection between Hawkins and the Upside Down, and learn more about how one relationship could be much more than what it seems.
Those stains are, I don't know what those stains are.
After the huge revelation at the end of Season 4, Part 1, there's one big question on everyone's mind. Can 11 beat Vecna in a psychic fight? She showed that she could defeat 1 in the past, but things are different now. Vecna is now a supernatural creature with more power than ever before. At the same time, Elle is weaker. She's trying to regain her powers and might not be in the same state of mind. But here's the thing. Vecna won't be fighting 11 alone. He will have other creatures from the Upside Down in his corner. Look, Elle will also have her friends. But can we compare the power of the humans to all the demonic creatures from the Upside Down? Vecna will probably target Elle through her friends as well, which will make this much more personal. It'll certainly be an interesting matchup between the two of them. However, the winner might not be as clear as most of us imagine. Speaking of 11, she has another major problem on her hands. The return of Dr. Brenner. While he is working with Owens to help restore her memories and powers, he cannot be trusted for 1 second. Put simply, he's a psychopath with a god complex. In the past, he experimented on all the children, showing no remorse for his evil actions. Now he's back and has his clutches sunk into Elle once again. He might be behaving himself at the moment, but for how long will this truce last? Everyone knows he has an ulterior motive here. The question is, could he be using 11 to get closer to Vecna? Anything is possible with this dastardly doctor and his devious schemes. We can only hope that Hopper arrives in time and punches Brenner in the face. It's nothing less than what he deserves, right? But a punch might not be enough to stop Brenner, judging by the previous season's events. He somehow survived an attack from 1, which destroyed everyone else around him, but he magically survived. The question is, did 1 spare him, or was he just lucky? The relationship between the two is interesting since it's clear there is lingering animosity, though the enemy of my enemy is my friend might be an applicable thought here, especially in the case of Brenner. Maybe he could be working together with Vecna rather than against him. However, there was another moment where it should have been curtains for Brenner. Remember how a Demogorgon savagely attacked the doctor? Everyone presumed that he was dead, but he survived, showing only a scar on his face. The question is, how did he walk away from a fight with a Demogorgon? Others who have had weapons haven't been as lucky as him, yet he got out with only a scratch in comparison. Something doesn't feel right about this. Either he must have been saved, or he could know something about stopping these creatures that none of us do. Regardless, Part 2 of Season 4 might address how Brenner was able to overcome such a lethal creature and live to tell the story. It also appears that Brenner might have the answer to another big question. What is the connection between the Upside Down and Hawkins? Though it's unlikely that the Doctor will disclose too much fast. That said, it doesn't make sense why everything happens in this one town. Vecna could open up gateways to other cities or bigger places, but he seems intent on targeting the people of Hawkins in specific, like the Mind Flayer did. Perhaps it could be something similar to the plot of the movie Poltergeist, where the reason the place is cursed is because it was built on ancient burial grounds. There is certainly something strange about Hawkins and the Upside Down, and the answers could lie in the town's past history. Alternatively, it could just be like Maine in Stephen King stories, and it's just the kind of place that attracts horror.
That's an interesting point. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
One connection that we know Hawkins has with the Upside Down is Henry Creel, who became 1. While it was expected that there would have always been a first test subject, we still don't know where Henry's powers came from or developed. Henry just realized that he had psychic abilities when he and his family moved into Hawkins. Then he started using them to harm his family. Was he born with these powers, or did something happen that gave him these abilities? If we were to compare Henry to other psychics from comics and films, many of them gained the special power at birth, but it was dormant for years. Then when they hit puberty, the abilities would start to show. A big possibility here is that the Upside Down played a part in unlocking Henry's powers, though that remains to be seen.
How many times do I have to be right on the money before you guys just trust me?
Visit our awesome merch shop. We have branded t-shirts, hoodies, eco bags, and even phone cases. You can choose between dozens of unique and awesome designs. Click the link under the video and find your perfect match. Speaking of Henry, his poor father Victor suffered a lot for his son's actions. In his heart, he knows that something evil happened that night and he didn't do it. Now the secret of Henry has come out, and the Hawkins gang might be able to prove how Victor was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But will he be released in the future? Despite all the strange things that happen in Hawkins, the authorities don't seem to believe in the supernatural too much. They almost shrug and see it all as tall tales. So even if Victor's innocence can be proven through Brenner's records of Henry's behavior, there is a possibility no one will believe it anyway. It's unfair, but maybe Victor might be locked up for the rest of his life. While on the topic of unfairness, it's sad that Max is cursed. After everything that happened with her and Billy's tragic passing, she's now become Vecna's target. Thankfully, she's been able to fight back by using the Kate Bush song and through the help of her friends. But there is still the threat that Vecna could come back again for her. Right now, the gang is watching over her more closely, but will the curse ever be broken? It's difficult for Max to be alone for even a minute now since everyone fears the worst for her. There's simply no way to live, and the gang needs to find a way to beat Vecna.
Now we just need to sneak into his lair in the Upside Down and drive a stake through his heart.
Yet, even if Vecna's defeated, that doesn't mean the curse will be lifted. As we've seen, more evil just keeps coming from the Upside Down, so there could be someone else waiting to take over from Vecna. For now, Max will need to be extra careful and ensure that she always has a friend around. Though, why did Vecna show Nancy some of his past? Perhaps she could be his next target and she doesn't know it yet? Oh boy, Steve's gonna have to be on double duty here.
Always the babysitter. Always the goddamn babysitter.
There are also a few questions that linger about the big romances in Season 4. As we saw, Nancy and Jonathan are experiencing some love trouble. The distance between them has affected their relationship and they seem to be growing apart every passing day. It's even worse now that Steve and Nancy have started spending so much time together and Jonathan is far away from him. In fact, there's a hint that Nancy might not be over her ex-boyfriend yet. Now many fans are wondering if Nancy will break up with Jonathan and rekindle her relationship with Steve, which many people would be excited about. The cast told E! News that no one knows the answer to this, unfortunately. Joe Carey revealed that the Duffer Brothers like to keep secrets and won't tell them what will happen with their characters or their romances. So for now, let's say the relationship status between Nancy and Jonathan is listed as it's complicated.
Do you need to be told everything?
In terms of another relationship, Mike and Elle's young love seems to be on the rocks as well. Again, distance is the main issue, as Elle has struggled to build a life for herself in California. However, there might be an added problem here: Will. Paying attention to what Will says to Mike in this new season, one thing is clear. He's disappointed that Mike has ignored him since he started his relationship with Elle. Will feels like they aren't best friends anymore. Many fans believe the real reason Will is upset is because he loves Mike more than a friend. It's a theory that's been going around for several years now. Noah Schnapp addressed this rumor directly with Variety. He said that it's all open to interpretation and there is no definitive answer. In other words, maybe Will is unhappy that Mike ignored him for so long, or there could be something more between them that will be addressed in Part 2 or Season 5. What do you think about a potential romance between Mike and Will? Support OSSA by sending a super thanks. Just click on the thanks button under the video and choose an amount to donate. Stay awesome, and remember, we value each one of you. Now that we've taken a look at all the unanswered questions, let's explore some of the plot holes of Season 4 of Stranger Things. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.